everyone. Welcome back to season 2, episode 2 of Dancers Doing Stuff. I have a very awesome guest today. A little background about how we met. We were actually just talking about this a little off camera, or I guess still on camera because we're virtual, of course. But we met at the Hairspray audition. If anyone out there heard about this audition, it was a dumpster fire before that was popular in 2020. It was like early March, 100% a super spreader event. It was really rough, and I didn't even make it in the door, and I got there at 6 a.m. for a 10 o'clock call. Mel, who is the guest today, I met. She was in front of me in the line, and we were in the line for, I don't even, like, so many hours. I think I got into the lobby area, and the building was like, we'll get into it. But anyways, I met her in the line, and it was just so wonderful. The best person to spend hours and hours in the cold, potentially catching COVID with. So a little background about her. Melissa grew up in New Jersey, and she was a classical theater obsessed child. Wow, reading is hard for me. She got a BFA in musical theater at Coastal Carolina University, and she has lived on the ocean for 2 of her live performing cruise ships, or 2 years of her life performing on cruise ships. Wow. Seriously, one day I'm going to learn how to read. She also toured the country and Japan as Val in a chorus line, which is so cool. And in her downtime, Mel has a business called The Not So Starving Artist, where she coaches people on nutrition and wellness, which we all know I need a lot of help with. So I'm very excited to talk about all of her dance stuff, being on tour, being in a chorus line, her life, her everything. Also, a little side note, if you ever saw any pictures of my wall decorated for Christmas, which it kind of still is in that room over there, it was inspired by her and her roommates who wrapped their gallery wall of art as presents. And so I made fake art because I have no art, and I just wrapped cardboard boxes and put them on the wall. So that was inspired by her too. So a true influencer, and you're really lucky that she's here for you today. So another little snag, I uploaded the video of her dancing because I wanted to hype her up, and it didn't show up. But I think I can screen share with you guys the actual video on YouTube. So we're gonna just play around, stick here, and also if you're watching live on YouTube, make sure that you comment, because we can see those comments and drag them into the screen, and it is really fun to interact with you because we have some games that you can participate in. So definitely stick around and comment below. Okay, let me see if I'm capable of doing this. Did I do it? Here you can see my entire screen. That's great. I love that. We love to see that. Okay, it's happening. It's happening.
When somebody breaks your heart, somebody twice as smart as I, somebody who will swear to be true like you used to do with me, who'll leave you to learn misery loves company. Wait and see. I wanna be around, see how she does it when she breaks your heart to bits. Let me just see if the puzzle fits so fine. That's when I'll discover that revenge is so sweet, as I sit there applauding from a front row seat when somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine. kiss your heart.
Yay! That was so good. Oh my goodness, that was so fun. I love I love theater, and I haven't gotten to watch it in so long. So like seeing that reel was really exciting for me. Okay, so without further ado, it is time to bring in our guest. Let's give a big round of applause. Yay! We made it. Technical challenges and all. Oh, and you're muted. So there we go. All right.
There we go.
Thank you for being here, even though apparently I'm a mess. But you're the best for being here. Thank you so much. We'll blame it on 2020 scrambling my brain.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so before we get into dance stuff and all that jazz, I love that. Ooh, this just like made me feel so good watching you do that. I love that. So we're going to start with the craft, which I kind of hinted at on my Instagram. I told everyone, so all you need is one piece of paper, some glue or tape or whatever you have that's sticky. You could use marshmallow fluff if you're really in a pinch, and some scissors. But maybe not marshmallow fluff because that's probably not nutritious. We'll get to that later. But we are going to make little mini books. So this is like a little test one that I made because we both love books, and I just thought this would be so cute. It could be something that you like carry with you with like, you could write like, have people write like good messages to bring it like with for an audition, or like, I don't know, like a little dream journal or a little mini inspiration affirmation. I don't know, just many things make me so happy. And then you can put it in your bag and you can use it for something fun. Or you could write down your meal plan. You could there's so much you could write in a book. So
cute.
We have our paper. First,
all right,
fold it hot dog style, which I learned is a very American thing to say because I tried to tell a Canadian to fold a paper hot dog style, and he was like, excuse me? But yeah, so we're just going to be folding for a little bit. We're going to fold it once in the middle and get a good crease in there. And then you're going to fold these edges down again to the middle.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So it's like 4
like
hot dogs.
Split
exactly.
Like
oh, look at, you're so efficient. Look at that. You're a professional bookmaker.
Wow, who knew?
And then you do that on the other side, like that. Then you're going to open it up and do the exact same thing, hamburger style.
Whoa.
Yeah. So while we're folding, give the viewers, the listeners, a little bit of background about who you are, because I completely butchered reading your bio.
No, you did not. It was pretty good.
I would not have gotten a call back.
Oh my god. Well, let's see. Like you said, I grew up in New Jersey. I was just like a psycho child that would watch any movie, and I would not pretend to be the people in the movies. I thought I was the people in the movies. So, like, I was Marta Von Trapp from The Sound of Music.
Oh my gosh, and you have a really cool story about that you have to share.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll share that right now. So, that was like my main thing, that I was obsessed with Marta Von Trapp. Specifically, I would like live a full day being Marta Von Trapp, like marching around my house with like a sweater tied around my neck, like for like full on. I was a child living in Austria in my mind.
That is so cute.
I know. So my boyfriend reached out to the woman who played Marta Von Trapp in the movie. And apparently she was making masks from like the material of the curtains from the movie. And he emailed her and he got her to make me one. And it says like it has her signature like on the front of the mask. And it's literally like the green material that Maria makes the kids' dresses in the movie.
That is like the most precious gift you could ever I can't even you better keep wearing that mask even when we don't have to.
Right? I'm like, I feel so cool in it.
I feel like we will.
It,
That's true. Then you know you're true people. And I feel like we'll be wearing masks for a while, so you'll probably get some good use out of it.
Yeah, I think so. It was such a special gift. I lost my mind. And my grandma, my Granny Franny, we call her, she lives up to the name as well. She is the one who showed me The Sound of Music for the first time when I was little. And it's like our special movie that we'll watch together all the time, or if it's on TV, we'll text each other and be like, it's on. So I FaceTimed her to show her the mask. She immediately knew what it was and started sobbing.
Oh my god.
It was so cute. Yeah.
That is so cute. I'm obsessed with that. I have a lot of just funny, strange masks that my mom keeps sending me. Now I'm getting holiday masks and that I can't wear past Halloween or Christmas. And so I'm just collecting all these masks now. And sometimes when I don't wash them, then I'm wearing candy canes or ghosts or something. And the kids that I teach are like, your mask's out of season. And I'm like, sorry. But yeah, so have you folded all of your little folds? Okay, amazing.
I think so.
That looks exactly right. So
okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to make 3 cuts. So a fancy way to do it is fold all but one of them together, hot dog style. And we're going to cut right here up until the end of the fold. So you keep that together. Down at the bottom and then at the very top.
Okay.
So this is the scariest part.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I have extra paper next to me in case I screw up.
I don't. So I better get it right. Okay, so I just made my 2 cuts. And this is actually, it's a very quick and easy craft, so we should be okay.
Love that.
Sometimes I get a little too ambitious with the crafts for people, and it's it's not good. Okay, so now we want to fold it back the opposite way. So have the other end out.
Still hot dog style?
Yeah, hot dog style, but now the part that is out is the one that you already cut. And we're just going to cut the middle one the same way.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to do a little cut. Okay, so when you take it apart, it should kind of look like a little zigzag situation.
Okay, let's see if I did it right.
Okay.
Did I do it?
Let me see.
Oh, no.
Oh, I think you need to go in one more with all the cuts.
Wait. Help.
Okay, let me see. Let me see.
All right,
Top
this bottom
row.
one has... Let's see.
Yeah, it should be 1, 2, 3, and then 2 connected. 1, 2, 3, 2 connected.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you're there.
I think I just need to see how this little part. Wait,
oh yeah,
it's hard to show you.
It's still connected a little bit. Yeah, rip that apart. You can do it. I believe in you.
Okay, and then rip. Oh wait! I see it. I think hopefully. I think it's this one. Okay, wait.
Yep, I think that's
right.
Yeah, it's kind of like a long snake thing. Okay, perfect. Okay. So this is the only part that is a little mentally challenging. Well, I mean, all of it's been a little mentally challenging. But, so the bottom one that we have here, see how the fold goes in this way?
Yeah.
You want to fold it the opposite way.
Okay.
That's the only one that you have to change the folding orientation. So
Okay.
now, this is going to be the hard part to show on camera. So I have glue because I ran out of double stick tape. But what you want to do is you take these two and you're going to glue that in here. So basically you're going to keep gluing and folding. Gluing and folding. So that's really hard to see.
Wait, so which ones?
These
The bottom
two.
one? Wait.
These
the ones
two.
that you didn't fold?
Oh, yeah. Wait, now I'm turned around. Okay, okay, we can do this. Here we are. This one wants to fold this way, so you go this way.
Mhm.
And then fold. Wait, now I'm turned around. We can do this, we can do this.
Do you glue the one that you folded, the very first one that you folded away from you, like opposite direction, or no?
Yes. So,
Okay.
so the one that you folded the opposite direction, that's going to be like the front cover and the back cover. So
Oh.
it kind of will make like a little, like you're gluing it like an accordion. So let me see if this helps. So
Okay.
we just have our paper. It's really hard to do it holding upright. That's what I'm
Right.
realizing.
It, like, falls
I need like
apart.
an overhead camera. So we
Yeah.
have the paper. It wants to go one way, so we fold it the opposite way. Then you take the glue for, you're basically gluing that totally to the other one. So like the four that are there. So you have 1, 2, and then 3, 4. You're gluing 3, 4 to 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I think I know what you mean. So, like, then you follow the folding pattern.
Yes.
And you put that one.
And
okay.
so then you glue. So I just glued those together. Then you're going to glue top and bottom down like that.
Oh.
Yes, I think.
Fancy.
Once you get into it, it makes sense.
Okay.
It's just starting it that makes no sense.
And you glue both of those squares down?
Yeah, so
onto it?
I glued that down. And now I'm going to glue this. Oh, no, wait, that's wrong. Oh, no, this might be a disaster. Let's think about this.
It's funny because it's, like, easy, but it's not.
Yeah, no, literally. Why can't I figure this out?
I'm trying to, like, imagine it in my mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do too. Okay, guys, if you're watching and you're in the comments and you know anything about this, help us out because we need it.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I think...
This stuff.
Oh, no. Okay, I think we're good. So, we just did that. Now, I need to glue this page to this page. I think just kind of go crazy with it and see. But basically, you know, you're trying to make a book. So you know it's got to link up somehow. Okay, I think I'm getting somewhere. I don't know how to explain it to you, but I believe
still
in
scared.
us.
Wait.
You know, this is part of... Okay, this is happening. Aha! So it
Something's happening.
You're kind of going like from one side of the book to the other, if that helps. Like it's kind of like this. That's what's helping me, thinking about the movement of it. I really can't even like think of anything else. Usually when we're crafting, we're like talking and chatting, but this is like a very mentally exhausting craft. Who would have known?
It is.
Oh my
it's
goodness.
like learning choreography.
Yes. Which I have
Oh my
gotten
God.
so much worse at during this pandemic.
I couldn't agree more.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Oh
so
no. Okay, wait. I see. Wait, shit. Am I allowed to curse? I just cursed.
that's okay. It's okay. You gotta let it out. You gotta,
You're
we're
right.
doing something really hard and new, and it's good to work our brain in a new creative way. Okay, I think I've done something.
I was doing it well, and then I noticed I screwed up a little bit, but I'm going to figure it out.
Same. See, this is the kind of stuff that actually, because I just did The Artist's Way, the book.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and it challenged me to do a lot of different things than normal. I think where we messed up was the very first step, because here I am gluing 3 pieces together. But I've made a book. It's not cute, so highly recommend really trying better. But I did succeed. It's much uglier than the one I made earlier. I believe in you. You can do it.
I don't think I'm succeeding, but we're going to see what I make.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I learned during the Artist Way is that, like, just this simple act of creating, and sometimes it's, like, better to create and create something really bad than to force ourselves to always think that everything has to be perfect and everything has to be, like, Instagram professional. I feel like a lot of people I've talked to have had a hard time with that, as myself as well, of, like, not doing something unless it's going to be perfect. And especially when, like, Instagram and social media is, like, part of our job, it's, like, really limiting to what you can actually just, like, try, because you feel like everyone can see everything you do. So this is a good practice for us to not do that. Unfortunately, this looks very bad. I think mine
is going to be a taco instead.
Okay, I'm here for that.
So I think that's what we're going with.
And it's also, like, this is our first time. Well, it's my second time. But, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, it's very dense.
Here, you know what? Haley? I have an idea.
Okay.
All right. Watch this.
I'm
so I
inspired.
didn't make a book.
Okay.
But I did make, get ready. I literally just thought of this right now. You're going to be shook.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
All right, you ready?
I don't know.
It's a little monster.
Amazing.
It's a little puppet.
Look at how creative you are. You made a puppet from a disaster. See? This is what I'm talking about. Killing it. You're killing it. You get another applause. Amazing. So now that our brain has been worked out, let's talk dance. So, obviously we met at that horrific audition where we both probably got COVID, and that was, it's really crazy to think back. I know this is, like, skipping a bit about, we're not talking about you, we're talking about the dance industry in general, but I remember having conversations in that line about how we were like, someone needs to make a change. This cannot keep going like this. This is insane. This is unhealthy. Like, everyone was so burnt out at that audition and frustrated, and, like, it's just one of those other, like, moments in 2020 where we were all just over it. And, like, obviously, COVID, do not wish it on anyone. But I think the greater thing that happened of, like, shutting down, and, like, obviously it is horrible that theater is still shut down, and now still shut down until, like, what, fall, they're saying, if even that. So it's, like, that is horrible because people don't have jobs and stuff. But, like, I really hope that people are using this time to make change and, like, revamp stuff, because it's clearly not working the way it was going.
Oh my God, totally. I also feel like, kind of talking to a lot of my friends, I think because we've, like, well, number one, us in the line, we were truly at that breaking point where we were like, we are worth so much more I remember us saying that, like, it just felt horrible. And I think now that we've had the time away, we, weirdly enough, not being employed and like taking a step back, I feel like has made people realize what they deserve and what, that they are worth so much more than being treated horribly to get a job. And actually, they need us just as much as we need them. And in the end, I think in the end, we need to be treated, that we need to meet in the middle. It needs to stop with everybody in charge just sitting back and like, oh, let's let them all kill each other to get to us. Instead, it needs to be like this. It just needs to meet and respect from both sides, because before it was like we were all given zero respect.
Literally, and it's also like even the people auditioning were not respecting the other people auditioning by getting there at 3 a.m. camping out with a lawn chair when that just it's such a problem with that's why I hadn't gone to many theater auditions before that, because I'd been so disenchanted with the whole process, so discouraged just by like the lack of organization of how everything was run, and it just makes you feel like literally they call it a cattle call for a reason. And like obviously you know, like there's good and bad of like people get so many opportunities to be seen if you get in the room, but like it's also like it's such a privilege to be able to go there and spend all day not working and waiting around when you might not get seen. And we have the technology. Like I really don't understand why there's not at least a submission process for these mass auditions, just because it's rude. It wastes everyone's time. It wastes the production company's money to rent the space for that long when they know they don't want to see half of us. Like just so much. So like that's my TED Talk. But back to you. Tell me everything. So you grew up in New Jersey and you were obsessed with movies, musical theater, life. Did you train at like a studio that did like all styles, or did you really like focus on musical theater?
So I was weird. So my sisters, I have two older sisters. They both were incredible dancers, like just very naturally good. And I was not at all. Like I was the little sister trying to be like them, but like very clearly did not have the talent that they had. And I also didn't really, surprisingly, as a kid, like have a love for dance at all. I was so weird. Like I hated going to dance class, but I just went because I knew like my mom signed me up and I had to. So I don't even know like the like timeline of everything, but I would like quit for a year and then decide to sign up again and then quit for a year. And I was just very in and out, like not into it. And then I would like do the plays in like elementary school, middle school, but I never really like took singing lessons or acting or anything. And then I came across Wicked and Rent on YouTube one day. And I was like, wait, that looks cool. Like, what is that? And then I found out like what Broadway was. I don't think I ever like understood what Broadway was. And even like being from New Jersey, I had never seen a Broadway show because my family just like, they weren't into that. Yeah. So I went up to my parents and I was like, I just saw these cool videos and I want to do what those people do. And they were like, what? And I was like, sign me up for singing lessons, sign me up for some acting classes. I'll do dance again if I have to. And they were like, okay, yeah. So it was like very weird, like how I just like decided to do that.
Wow. How old were you when you like had that epiphany?
I think I was 12. I want to say it was like the beginning of 7th grade maybe. But even then I still didn't like understand the scope of it all. So I still was like going to dance class, but I didn't understand like how to apply myself or like, I don't know. I still was kind of like coasting.
Yeah.
And then my sophomore year of high school, I went to French Woods Festival, which is a camp.
Yeah, I've heard. I know a lot of people who've gone there. It sounds like a magical place.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I only went for 3 weeks, and it like completely just changed my whole like train of thought. Like I was immersed with all of these kids who were so talented and were like had already been on Broadway or just were so amazing. And I was like, oh, and I feel like at that camp, I was like watching them in classes. And then I realized like, oh, they're like working really hard and applying themselves. And I just copied what they did. And I guess in New Jersey, I didn't really have people like that to look up to in classes. So when I saw that, it clicked. So I came home from camp and I was like, all right, Mom and Dad, I'm ready to take it up a notch. So I went to BDC. They had like a children and teen program, and I would go every weekend, and that became like my dance studio.
So cool.
Then,
There's
yeah,
so
then,
many
like,
amazing people who have gone through that program. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I wish I had something like that. It just, the exposure to the teachers and like just being
Yep.
around people who like take it seriously really
Yes, that
changes
was-
everything.
Yeah, like constantly having somebody to look at to like want to emanate how they danced, or like it just felt, it was like that energy. And also like being at the ballet bar and looking down the street from Studio One and seeing like the lights of Broadway just like made me want to kick my leg higher. It was like, that was like the turning point for me. And then after that, I was like the hardest worker you had ever seen.
Amazing. And so
Yeah.
you decided to go to college,
Mhm.
which I feel like a lot of people nowadays are not going to college and stuff, but I
Yeah.
think probably if we're like in the last generation of people who are like actually still went to college before pursuing stuff. So did you do
Yeah.
dance at college and like that whole program, and how was college
Yeah.
and dance?
I definitely think I would not be where I am today without college, for sure. Because I still was very out of touch with just how this business is. So I ended up getting a BFA in musical theater, but what's funny is I auditioned for 17 schools and I got into one.
Oh my gosh, what year did you graduate high school?
2012.
Oh my gosh, so that was like, were people still applying? Because like I graduated high school in 2009, and like
Okay.
people were applying to like 20 schools. Like I think I
Yeah.
applied to 9, and I was like on the lower end of
my God.
schools. So like
Wow.
that is crazy. Like was that still
Yep.
common in like the 2012 to like apply to that many
Yeah.
schools?
Yep.
my
More like
God.
with the musical theater people. But yeah, it was crazy. And like, thank God I did apply to that many, because I probably wouldn't have applied to the school that I went to if I wasn't trying to like grow my list of schools.
Yeah.
So,
And you probably,
good.
that's like your first lesson for the business of like
Yeah.
auditioning and being rejected. And like, that's such a valuable skill to learn early on and before you're like thrown out into the world.
Yeah, it's like, it's totally like hits you in the face to be like, wow, there's a lot of kids that want to do this. Like, shit.
Literally.
It's crazy. But at my school, it's really, really cool. So they have this kind of like unwritten promise that you leave school with a leading role on your resume. So,
That's so
yeah,
good.
it was really nice, because like, although I was a dancer, they kind of had to get me to be able to do a role. So like, I feel like any other program, I wouldn't have had that opportunity, and I wouldn't have learned like what it was like to act on stage. Like, yeah, you can act in acting class, but it's way different to do it in a full production. Yeah, so my sophomore year, I actually did a chorus line, and that was my first production I did at college.
Wow.
And it was the first role I ever had in my life. And in college, I played the character Judy, who she has like a few lines in the montages and like random stuff. And then I understudied Cassie.
Okay.
And then that was like my first production. It was amazing. And then they put me in a straight play, Crimes of the Heart, and I was the lead in that. So I was so terrified. Yeah. Like, it was a 3-act play. Just like, I opened the play by myself on stage with like a single spotlight, doing a whole scene by myself.
Oh my God.
Terrifying.
Stress.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
but that's
but I'm
such good
so glad.
experience to get because I feel like
Yeah.
as dancers, a lot of time, especially if you focus on dance in your training, it's like you don't often get to have that practice of speaking and actually acting, you know? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
They just kind of were like, all right, dancer girl, we're going to like throw you in there, see how you do. And I'm so glad they did because I needed that like little push.
Yeah, that's so good. So then what happened after you left college? What was that journey like? How did you end
Yeah.
up?
It's kind of crazy because it's already been 4 years, I guess, but it
It
feels like such
goes
a short
like
time.
that. After life
Yeah.
after college is like it's like a crazy infinite summer vacation, but also like
Right.
time goes so fast, but like what is time because you're in control of it, like crazy.
Yeah. It's so weird. Like, it's so weird to think about like my 4 years of college and everything I experienced in that. And my 4 years out of college feels like maybe 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, it's just bizarre. So, we came to New York from South Carolina, my whole school or my senior class, and we did senior showcase. And that week, I just went on like a few auditions, and I auditioned for Carnival Cruise Line
Okay.
as a singer dancer. And it was the weirdest day. It was the only time I've ever experienced this where you literally went through the whole audition and they kept cutting people until they had 8 people left. And they told us, like, you booked the job.
At the
Yeah.
audition? Wait,
Yes.
I've never heard of that. That is
Right?
wild.
It was crazy. So then, like, I got to walk back at school when everybody's like, oh my God, how was showcase? Like, and I was like, oh, I came back with an offer. Like, here I am. Yeah.
Oh my god,
So
amazing.
yeah, it was crazy. So I literally left. I graduated, and 3 days later, I flew to California for rehearsal and started my first contract.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
does Carnival do like I know some of the ships do like full on musicals and some do like more like
Mhm.
cabaret style. What was their show like?
Yeah. Theirs was actually more like as if it was concerts in a way. Like one of them was rock themed and one of them was pop themed. And we all sang and danced. We all had like Britney mics and we
Amazing.
were like singing and then like doing pirouettes in
That
like
is so cool.
Yankee clothing.
It's always a little wild on those cruise ships, right? Like,
Right?
well, it's like a crazy experience, like the whole cruise
Yes.
culture. And I feel like there's a lot of people who like do
Mhm.
cruises and then just like stick with cruises forever.
Yeah. It's I could definitely see how it could be addicting for sure.
Because you're
And all right,
not paying rent, you're getting money, like
mhm.
your food is
Free
covered,
food,
you're in like
the
beautiful
alcohol.
locations.
Yeah. You can drink like for free.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's
It's
I always see
crazy.
pictures of people like on cruise and they're like on their off days and they're just like drunk in a bikini and I'm like,
Yep.
wow, you're having a great
I know.
time.
It's amazing and you pocket so much money.
Yeah.
But this is a funny story, like kind of about how like fate works its way into your life. I
Ooh.
always think about this. So I was on that first contract and I had told myself going into it, I was like, you will only do one contract. You have to move to New York and like pursue what you really, really want to do, which is musicals. But then like you get into the lifestyle and you're like, I could sit pretty here. Like I can sit back. And one day I went like off on a port and I met with a psychic and she was like full on right about everything in my life, like way too specific. And then at one point she looks at me and she goes, you will not accept a cruise after this. You have to go to New York. And she like looked me in the eye and told me that. And I was like,
Oh,
okay,
I have chills.
I know. So I moved to New York. I was auditioning and like you know how it feels after a few weeks, you just like want to die.
Yeah.
I get an email from Carnival. They offered me one of the best ships in the fleet, like such a beautiful itinerary, so much money, and I was this close to saying yes. This close. And I like heard the psychic telling me in the back of my mind, like, do not do it. So I didn't do it. And then, I kid you not, I think a month later was my chorus line audition. And I booked,
Oh my God, I
like,
literally
my
have full
absolute
body
dream role.
chills.
Yeah.
I have full body chills, and I'm sweating in this sweater, but I still have chills. Oh my God. So what was
Yeah.
that whole process like,
Oh my
doing
gosh.
the audition and the tour
Oh.
for Chorus Line and everything?
Yeah. Well, it's always been my favorite musical. Ever since I did it in college, like, it's been my end all be all. It's so funny on, like, my Twitter. It'll show me my memories from years before. And when I closed the Chorus Line in college, I went on, like, a tweeting rampage. And I was like, if I don't do a Chorus Line again in my life, I'm going to die.
Oh my
Somebody
God.
from the theater come and tell me that I'll do it, please. Like, I was so dramatic.
That's what
But-
Twitter's for, though. It's for letting it out.
Right? I know. Love it. But I saw the audition for a Chorus Line, and I was like, all right, this is one audition. Like, I'm going to go at 6 a.m. and make sure, like, I'm seen.
Back when
So-
6 a.m. was crazy to get there for.
Right? Like, that's when the crazies were. What year was this? This was 2017.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
went, signed up on the list, and they were like, all right, come back at 2. And I was like, great. So I went home, beat my face, got ready, went to the audition. And then I was in callbacks for Judy. And this is another story that you're going to lose your mind at.
Oh
This
my
is
gosh,
another,
I'm
like,
not ready.
meant to be. You are not ready. So I'm called back for Judy, which is the role that I played in college. And I had 2 other friends who were in the callbacks as well. And we had, like, a group chat, and we were keeping each other updated if, like, anybody got a callback, anybody heard, whatever. So one day they both text in the group chat, and they're like, hey, Mel, we both got final callbacks. We wanted to let you know. And I was like, crap, I didn't get one. And I was so upset. And prior to them telling me, I had emailed my agent, and I was like, hey, I haven't heard from a Chorus Line yet. Can you please reach out? I just, like, my anxiety can't handle this. I just need to know if, like, they have moved on. And my agent were like, you need to be patient and, like, just see what happens. And I was like, okay. Good thing that they didn't reach out, though. You'll see why.
Oh my God.
So
I'm nervous.
this is crazy. So I was dramatic as heck. This was truly the only audition I let myself cry over. So I, like, had a night of sobbing. Then I, like, see my friends at the callback on their Instagram story. My dramatic self goes to Central Park, and I sat on a rock and was, like, sobbing. Literally
I've done
in Central
it.
Park.
If you've lived in New York and you haven't gone and cried on a rock in Central Park, you have not fully lived here yet.
It's like such an amazing feeling to just, like, cry in public.
Yeah.
You know?
And
Like,
literally no
it's
one cares here because they've seen weirder
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, like, no, it's amazing because people walk by and they're just like, whatever. So finally I, like, picked myself up. I was like, all right, that's the final cry. We're moving on. So I go back to my apartment. I remember I, like, was about to get in the shower, and Laura, my friend who was called back, texts me, and she's like, Mel, they're calling your name at this callback right now for Judy. And I was like, what? And she's like, I went up and told them that you didn't think you had a callback. So we'll see. I get a call from the, like, casting assistant. She's like, oh my God, we fully forgot to email your agent to tell you how to call back. She was like, we're already done with the Judys for the day. And she goes, can you come? So this was on a Friday. She was like, can you come to the audition tomorrow? We're going to, like, rent a studio at Ripley just so you can come and do your callback. And I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
So I go to this callback. It's, like, literally just for me. And they were like, I do my Judy stuff. And immediately they're like, yeah, okay. And then the director, Bjork Lee, she was like, can you do Val for me? And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, can you do the monologue and the song? Take 5 minutes and look it over and come back. And I was like, what? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe they want me to understudy this role. Like, I don't know. So I go in, do it on a whim. And they're like, thank you. And I leave. And then about a week later, I get an email that I booked Val. And I was like, what? So
Just
basically what
like
happened,
out of
yeah,
nowhere.
out of nowhere. So kind of what I figured out happened was on that day of callbacks that I missed because they didn't email me, they had seen all of the Judys and they really liked the girl that they ended up casting as Judy. But by the end of the day, they didn't see any girls that they liked for Val. So they were like, you know what? We're going to check that Melissa girl that missed her Judy callback and see how she is as Val. And bam.
That is just
So
crazy. And it's like, you literally never know. Like, that's the thing where, like, people get so... Pause
York.
for the New York scenery. It's crazy because people really don't know. Like, you can never know what's going on in someone's head behind the table. You never know whether it's you're auditioning and it's for something different in that same production, or it's like you're auditioning for something and the person like is like, actually no, I want to hire you for this movie that I'm doing in next month.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like that's the crazy thing about this.
Oh,
So
no.
that is amazing. So then you did the tour and like, oh,
Yep.
that is so cool.
Yeah, it was a dream come true. It was just like the best. Like I truly have nothing bad to say about the whole experience. It was
Wow.
like it was blissful.
Oh my God. That is so
Yeah.
cool. Oh,
I
that
know.
just gives me chills. Like it's so clear that like that story was supposed to happen to you. Like that is
Right?
so, oh, I love stuff
I
like
know.
that.
It blows my mind.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, it is time for our first game. So anyone who's watching, make sure you comment because we are going to play Would You Rather? Okay, so I always say this, but I love playing Would You Rather because so much about this whole show and everything is about, you know, getting to know dancers as people. And I think that Would You Rather is such a great way to really figure out how someone's brain works really quick. So, none of these questions are too crazy because they're from a game. But I'm going to start actually asking people for suggestions for Would You Rather because I've used up most of these cards. So I just picked randomly. Would you rather have to narrate everything you see aloud forever? Or would you rather get stung by a scorpion each time you have a drink?
Narrate for sure.
Yeah,
I
I feel
kind of
like
already-
you could
I kind
die
of already
from a
do that.
scorpion.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that. Okay, I'm randomly picking. Okay. Would
God.
you rather scream nonstop each time you get within 2 miles of a bridge? Or have a face for a bottom?
A face for a bottom, that
I
would be
don't-
so funny.
I don't know if that means you have a butt for a face. You might have 2 faces
Oh.
and no bottoms.
I pictured like a face on my butt.
Yeah. I don't know if you still
I-
have your face on your face, though. Maybe
Oh.
both. Maybe both. I think you have 2 faces. It's not
Okay,
a
I picked
flip.
that one.
Yeah. Because, like, you could hide it.
Yeah,
Or it could maybe help you book a job.
true.
Special skill.
Oh my
Butt
god.
face. Okay, last one of these. Ooh. Would you rather have all soft and fluffy textures feel like sandpaper when you touch them? Or have your knees eternally glued together?
Oh, the texture one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it just not having use of your knees would really put a damper on your career.
Yeah, I would probably have to go to grad school.
Amazing. Well, with that, let's talk about your passions outside of dance. Let's talk about all of it, your new adventure. I just changed it so that everyone can see Not So Starving Artist.
Yes.
What is that all about?
Okay, so this was inspired by so I did 2 cruise ship contracts, one with Carnival, one with Norwegian Cruise Line. Both of them, and also on the tour, it was just very apparent to me, like, the culture of the stress performers feel for looking perfect and the lengths that people would go to look that certain way in such unhealthy manners. And I've always had, like, a major interest in nutrition and, like, actually how to fuel your body and, like, how diets are BS. And, like, I've just always been, like, looking things up and, you know, like, trying to tell people, like, hey, what you're doing right now is really bad for your body, but, like, nobody would listen to me. And it always just frustrated me because I wanted to, like, help all of these people, but I didn't have anything to, like, back me up with my knowledge. So over quarantine, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get certified in this. So at least when I'm trying to help people, I can be like, here's my certification. You better listen to me.
Yeah, like, hello,
So,
look,
yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. And, like, the thing that would just drive me crazy really is, like, you don't have to make yourself miserable with food to have your best health. Like, you don't have to be, especially as an active dancer, limiting things is, like, a no-go.
Yeah.
It's more of, like, what else can you add to your diet that's going to help you? Stop with the whole, like, I don't eat after 8 p.m. or I only have a salad with chicken for lunch. Like, if you are active and if you don't have any health issues that a doctor is saying, like, you can't eat this or this, then, like, you just need to eat as much as you can and find things that you love and make it work. Like, and my whole thing is, like, pizza can fit in a healthy diet. Chicken tenders can fit in a healthy diet. You can have dessert. Like, life is so much
That
more
all
enjoyable.
sounds so great.
Right? That's my whole thing. And, like, it's so funny because you actually, or I've discovered, and a lot of my clients have discovered, when you're actually eating, like, more intuitively with, like, what you're actually craving and, like, when you're really listening to your body, that's when you feel your strongest. You have way more stamina. You actually start to, like, see the muscles that you, like, should be seeing with how active you are. But a lot of people are under fueling themselves or limiting things because they think it's healthy, but it's actually not. That it's just like a cluster FUCK.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's such like a big scale, I feel, of just like misinformation and also just like
Yeah.
people, you know, it's like, it's really easy to hide not taking care of yourself, I feel like,
Yeah.
especially in this industry, especially when we're so celebrated for how we look. And if a
Yeah.
change happens, and sometimes a change happens to your body and it's what the industry wants to see, but you know it's happening for an unhealthy reason. Or like, you know, there's
Yeah.
been times where I've taken class and I like, I don't remember what time it was. It wasn't this summer, obviously, because it was pandemic. I think it was the summer before. I was like so anxious, so stressed out for a week. I lost 10 pounds in a week. And I
Oh my
knew I was
God.
like, what is happening? Like,
Yeah.
I was happy that I like lost weight because I was like, well, I do want to lose weight, but I
Yep.
knew it was not, I didn't try to lose it. So I knew it wasn't really like something
Yeah.
to celebrate. And I took a dance class of a teacher who I hadn't seen in a few weeks. And in the middle of the dance class, they said,
Oh God.
Haley, you look amazing. Have you lost weight?
Oh God.
In front of like all these strangers. And they're like, what did you do? And I literally was like, I
Oh
was
my
just
God.
stressed out all week. Like, I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, and then I remember I went home and weighed myself and I was like, oh my God, I lost 10 pounds. Like, what? But like,
Whoa.
it's so crazy how like people still to this day, even though there is so much more education, I think, especially like about, you know, being healthy and like body positivity, it's still like so quick for people in this industry to
Yep.
just like jump to skinny is good. And it's like,
Yep.
it's not always that great. Like,
Exactly.
healthy
Yeah.
can look so different for so many people. And it's like, that's, yeah. And it's so, and even like when you know the information, it's really hard to like follow it sometimes. So that's why it's really good to have someone like you who can guide you. Like, I definitely need help with that. Like, it's just so hard living in this city and being a dancer and being on the go and having to pack all your meals. Like, it's just a whole other thing. Like, it overwhelms me. So, like, super kudos to you for taking that on and, like, helping people with that, because that is so needed.
Yeah, totally. I just, like, I was like, this bothers me too much to not, like, want to do something about it.
Yeah.
So I just had to. And I'm really glad I did, because now, like, I love talking to people about anything nutrition. Like, I love when my friends call me, just ask me, like, random questions about nutrition. I'm, like, such a nerd. I get so excited.
I love that. And it's just, like, it's so clearly directly can help your dance career. Like, it can't hurt.
Exactly.
To take care of yourself, that's something that I hope people have learned in 2020 is, like, taking care of yourself literally can't do any harm to you or other people around you. Just take care of yourself. Like, your health should be the most important thing, and I wish that was something that we were taught more.
I feel like that's definitely, like, an American thing to push through things or ignore things, where I feel like a lot of other countries, they value your health and your well-being a lot more, and they value, like, the quality of life more, as opposed to, like, your successes on a piece of paper, you know?
Yeah, totally.
I feel like we Americans need to just, like, calm the hell down a little bit.
Literally, we need that. So what are some of your other, like, fun things that you like outside of dance and outside of nutrition?
I told you that I love books and writing. I've been working on a novel for, like, 3 years now.
Oh my gosh, you can make a mini version if we ever learn how to actually make this. I'm really going to practice. It's going to look good.
But I've been stuck at the beginning of this novel for 3 years. So I think I'm going to bite the bullet and take a class to actually teach me, like, what are the steps I need to take to fulfill what's in my mind, because I have the entire story in my brain and I just don't know how to, in an organized way, put it out there. But by the time I die, it's going to be put out there.
I believe that.
Yeah.
That is so exciting.
I love just being able to escape in a book. It's like a very nice change from our career and the world. So,
and it's such a good way to get out of social media, get off your phone. Like, that's the one thing that, like, when I'm reading a book, I can only read that one book. I don't know about you, but I'm always, like, doing 5 different things at once. If I'm watching TV, I'm working on something, I'm doing this. But when you're reading a book, it's like, I can't be looking at my phone or watching TV and reading a book. Like, I have to be in it. So it's such a good thing to do. Highly recommend reading books.
Me too. I also am very spiritual. Like, I'm into tarot cards and oracle cards.
Oh my goodness. My roommate and I are so into tarot cards.
Really?
So, well,
oh my gosh.
She's much more, like, knowledgeable about it, and, like, we, like, watch, like, TikToks about it, and we, like, just this morning, I don't know if you're on Clubhouse, but, like, we both, it's, like, this new app. I think I have an invite. I can send it to you, where it's, like, just, like, chat rooms, and it's kind of crazy. But this morning we found a Clubhouse chat room where there's, like, it was, like, a woman doing tarot readings for people. And they were, like, all around the world, and we were just listening in on it. Yeah, it's so cool. I'll tell you after we're done with this. But, yeah.
Please.
Oh, my gosh. So you have, like, all the cards and everything?
Yeah, and I'm really into, like, meditating and, like, getting your mind into that, like, kind of ulterior space, I guess. Ooh. Like, I love all of that. What's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
I knew it. So am I.
When's your birthday?
March 18th. What's yours?
February 23rd. I'm almost 30 and I'm freaking out about it.
Don't freak out.
But
30, flirty, and thriving.
See, that's going to be me.
Yeah,
it's going to be finally the time I book a job as a high schooler.
It will be. It will be. I'll put it in the universe.
Yes. Give me all the
But
vibes.
it's like, I will. It's like a Pisces thing. I don't know if you have ever experienced any of this, but like, when I was little, I would straight up, like, speak to my dead grandpa all the time, like, as a 2-year-old.
Oh my God.
Like, weird stuff like that. I've seen lots of spirits.
Have you ever
stuff.
had like an out of body experience where you like can see yourself like while you're awake?
I haven't, but have you?
Yeah, I had an experience like that in middle school. I was in the cafeteria and I was eating lunch with everyone, big cafeteria, and then all of a sudden I was above, like we had a cafetorium, so it's like the auditorium is the cafeteria. So I was like above the stage. So like I was sitting back here and I was somehow floating above the teachers, looking at the entire room and could see myself.
Whoa.
And then I was back in my body and I remember just like eating my goldfish and being like, that was weird. And like no one around me was like, Haley, what's wrong with you? Like, it was so bizarre. I don't know.
Whoa.
I don't know what happened. That's the only time that that's happened to me, but I've always had like really vivid dreams and really like spooky, like I'm convinced that I like dreamt the movie Big Fat Liar from the early 2000s, but
Yeah.
I also might just have watched a lot of commercials for it. I don't know, but yeah, so
Oh my God.
I love that kind of stuff.
I've had a lot of like psychic moments. I've been trying to like remember them and write them down, but yeah, just like freaky things where I like full on predicted things that have happened or like known something was happening and like, yeah.
Oh my God, I love
crazy.
that.
Do you want me to tell you the craziest one?
Yes.
Okay. So, this was sophomore year of college. Yeah. And my roommate, this is wild, but everything's okay now, so don't get scared.
Oh my God.
But she got pregnant and she only told me and my other roommate. So we were like the secret keepers of her being pregnant. And she was in that stage of like freaking out, of like figuring out what to do. And I was waiting for acting class. I was like 10 minutes early. I was with my friend Elliot. And it was like in school, you could not miss a single acting class. Every absence was a letter grade down. So like you did not miss, even if you were like throwing up, like you were there.
That's
so
intense.
I'm sitting there with Elliot. Yeah, it was very intense. Sitting there and I'm like chatting with Elliot. And then all of a sudden, I don't even remember thinking. I just said to him, I have to go. And he was like, what? And I just got up and I was like, I have to go. He's like, what? You've been waiting for class. Like, where are you going? And I like grabbed my stuff and I was like, I'm going. And I just remember being on autopilot and like heading back to the apartment. And I walk in the apartment and Susanna was having like a full on meltdown, like throwing herself against the wall, like not okay. Basically, she would have like probably killed the baby if I didn't come in. And she ended up having the baby and now he's a beautiful 5-year-old boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You just felt
like,
it.
I knew like I had to be in the apartment. It was so weird.
Oh,
yeah.
Chills again.
And I've had lots of like things similar to that.
Where you just like, you just know.
Yeah.
That is
really
crazy.
bizarre.
But I love that kind of stuff.
Me too.
Oh, I love that.
It's so fascinating.
I know. I used to be really like obsessed when I was little with these books, like the Molly Moon books, where she's like a hypnotist.
Ooh.
And she would like hypnotize people. And then I remember it was a kind of a sad thing. I was at my grandmother's funeral and there was a guy who was a professional hypnotist who came. And my mom was like, Haley, like my daughter's really into hypnosis. And he like gave me his card, but I never followed through. So maybe I missed my chance of like becoming a hypnotist. I've never really told anyone that before. That is so funny. Maybe I need to like look into that more. Like I was just really like, I wanted to to hypnotize people.
Well, maybe you can.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, now is time for our final. It's not really a game. I told you about it. It's our question cards that are mostly from a website about how to questions to ask your dad. So I'm going to randomly pick the questions and then we'll see what we get.
Okay.
Okay. I try to like get rid of the ones that I've used already so that we get fresh questions, but hopefully they will be fresh questions for season 2. Let's see. Okay, pick a color.
Pink.
If you could learn any language fluently, what would it be?
German.
Ooh, that was quick.
Yeah. I've always wanted to learn German.
Do
I'm
you
like
have
mad I
any
don't know
German
it.
in you? Like any heritage of German?
Yes,
That was the weird way to ask that question. I don't know how to speak English. I would like to learn English fluently.
Oh my God, stop. My great grandma was like 100% German.
Wow.
But I've just always wanted to live there at some point randomly. I just think it's really cool. And I want to know the language and I want to drink all of their beer. So.
You're going to have a lot to go through.
Right.
Okay, next color.
Orange.
What animal most closely resembles your eating style?
Oh,
That's an interesting question.
that is an interesting question. You know, maybe, oh my God. Maybe a monkey.
Do you like
I feel
throw
like-
your food at the wall?
Like if someone's like making me mad, I'll just like throw it at them. But I also feel like monkeys like appreciate their food. Like they'll just kind of look at it and like smell it. I feel like that's what I do.
I think I would pick hummingbird because I literally mostly consume sugar water, which is why I need to talk to you after this.
Yeah, we need to have a session.
Okay, next color.
Blue.
Do you Google your problems? What a strange question.
I mean, my Google search history is probably like the most embarrassing thing anybody could ever read. Like, I should just make a YouTube video of me reading it because it's mortifying.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, side plug, we'll get to plugs, but definitely check out her YouTube channel
Oh, yeah.
because she's going to get back into it. She has really fun vlogs and get into it.
Do it.
Okay, last question of these. What is the most relaxing place you've ever been to?
Ooh. I have two that came into my brain. Okay, first is in Ireland. It's called the Giant's Causeway. And it's these like rocks that have formed like perfectly on top of each other in like circles, and nobody knows how they were formed. But just like, and it's right on the water, and like being there, and it's just like Ireland with like the wind blowing, and like you can smell the sea salt, and just like seeing that this is like a natural thing that was formed. It's just very like, you kind of like all of your problems seem like so small because you just feel like you're like a small part of like the universe. And I've been there twice and I just love it. Like every time I'm just like in awe. And I feel like that's one of the few times where I like actually stop and think about my surroundings and like where I am. Yeah, I love it there. And then I would say the second is like early morning, like sunrise on a cruise ship on like the outside deck, just alone, sitting on a chair with like nobody around, nobody's awake yet, and like I'm just in the middle of the ocean. Pretty cool.
That sounds. I've never been on a cruise before. Like I never went on vacation, and
my
now I feel
God.
like I missed out because I've had so many friends who are on ships, and they're like, "I can get you on, like I can write you on, or whatever you can do, or get you
Yeah.
a cheaper room." And I just like never took them up on it, and like I'm kicking myself now because it's like, you know, you always are in that mode of like, well, what if I miss something? What if I miss something in New York? What if I can't just go
Yeah.
on a vacation? And it's like, no.
Yeah,
After
gotta do it.
this year, like you got to take those types of opportunities. So maybe
I
one day I'll
agree.
be able to go on a cruise. I don't know if I
You
could work on a
should.
cruise though. I might go crazy.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
do go
know.
crazy for sure.
Okay,
It's
well,
nuts.
our very last question is, what brings out your most creative self?
Mm. Okay, this is like, I don't even know if this is the right way to answer the question, but immediately, kind of similar to my last answer, the early morning brings out my creative self. Like, I swear I'm in like some alternate thing in my brain, but when it's the morning, I can think of the most, like, I could just go and get like a million creative things done in an hour at like 6 a.m. And I'm like, where did this even come from? Or I'll just think of like really interesting ideas of like things I want to do, or like, I don't know. It's like my witching hour.
Wow, I
Yeah.
love that. That's a
Yeah.
new one. No one in all the episodes so far, no one has said that yet. There've been a lot
Yay.
of repeats, but that's exciting to have a new one. I love that. Okay, well, for everyone watching and anyone listening, we have your Instagrams. Wow, words. I really need to learn English this year. We have your Instagram listed here, but for the audio listeners, tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah. Okay. So follow me on Instagram at Mel Cabey, Cabey. And then at not so starving dot artist. That's my nutrition page. On YouTube, it's Mel Cabey Vlogs. And I think that's kind of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much for being a guest. For anyone
Yay.
watching, if you're watching out there and you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe to Essentially Haley. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I was trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before 2021, but now the goal is 1,000 before 2022. So I think we can make it happen. We're
I
at
think so too.
209, I think. So, we're close. We're getting there. And then if you want to follow me for my personal stuff, you can find me at Haley Grove on Instagram, HALEYGROVE. And you can also follow the Dancers Doing Stuff Instagram. I created it very recently, so I'm kind of pumping out the old episodes and videos, but that's where I'm going to put the videos of our amazing guests and pictures of our crafts and fun stuff over there. So definitely check that out. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Subscribe to Apple, iTunes, podcasts, Spotify. Dancers Doing Stuff is on anywhere you get podcasts. If you happen to get them anywhere besides Apple or Spotify, it's probably on that place too. And yeah, that is it for tonight. So thank you so much for being a guest. This was so fun.
Thank you.
And I'm definitely going to eat a real dinner now. So
Yeah, you better.
amazing. Okay, well, have a great night, everyone. And thanks for joining.